Shitcoin must die. And here is why. There are a lot of stupid people on the internet. Trump supporters, Elon Musk fans, Reddit users, but none are more stupid and dangerous than Bitcoin bros. The kind of people who are on the internet constantly talk about Bitcoin and they've made it their whole identity and they don't even realize how much they're ruining the entire world. You may have heard that Bitcoin is currently using 0.55% of all energy on Earth. That's more than a long list of small countries each, and it's more than any single service on the entire internet. And Bitcoin is not the only one. God knows how much energy we're wasting on this cryptocurrency nonsense altogether. Really, it's a nightmare. Now you can buy Teslas with Bitcoin, so now you can drive an electric car but still cause global warming while you do it. I was never a big doomsayer when it came to this whole global warming thing. I think I'll make a video about that at some point, but I think we can all agree that Bitcoin using 0.55% of all energy on Earth is not a good use for that energy. Now you're probably one of those idiots I mentioned earlier, and you'll say, well, how much energy does the normal banking system use? Well, the simple answer is, I don't fucking give a shit. It doesn't matter. How many people do you think use Bitcoin? If we look it up, it turns out there's only 64 million active wallets. That's less than 1% of all humans on Earth having one. And that means that less than 1% of all humans on Earth in a month used up 0.55% of all energy on Earth just by having a Bitcoin wallet. So that means they have used up double the energy that they would have normally used just because they had a Bitcoin wallet. You happy now that you got in on the ground floor, you invested? Oh cool, now you're using twice as much energy than anyone else that you're seeing just because you had that wallet. Now if you're looking at normal banks, do you think if you make an account at a bank, do you think that doubles your energy consumption? I don't think so, do you? Do you think so? You think they got like a pyre full of burning video cards in the back, and that's what the banks do? No, that's Bitcoin. That's only Bitcoin. Maybe if you buy a car and you drive it around a whole lot, then you'll double your consumption of energy, right? Because the car is there and it's using energy. Maybe you need it to get to work or something. If you don't have a car, I guess you'll use half of the energy, right? But if you just like add a little Bitcoin to it, yeah, you're right there. It's as if you had another car. Good job. And you're driving it like non-stop, like a menace, full speed, running over old ladies, getting drunk at the wheel. Disgusting. If we look at bank accounts, it turns out that 15% of all people have bank accounts. So they could use up, I don't know, let's say 10% of all energy on Earth with those bank accounts, and they'd still be more cost efficient than Bitcoin. And you can use banks for a lot of things, okay? You can currently only use Bitcoin for investing. If you use Bitcoin on a regular basis to buy your groceries, it's gonna be exponentially more expensive. Every transaction costs incredible amounts of energy. So the more transaction, the more energy. It's a nightmare. Here, look at this cute image that I found that says one Bitcoin transaction uses up as much energy as 500,000 regular Visa card transactions. Isn't that cool? Yeah, I wonder which one's more efficient, huh? The banking system or crypto? I wonder. Oh, I can't figure it out. It's fine. I know that your pathetic little brain is unable to understand that there might be something wrong with a simple service like Bitcoin that uses up this incredible amounts of power and creates such little value for everyone. And you're probably going to say, it's not my fault, it's the miners that are doing it. With their greed, they're constantly burning energy just to mine Bitcoin. But you don't get it. You don't know what mining is. Every time a Bitcoin transaction takes place, it creates the need for mining. A transaction is only completed when it is verified, and the verification process of Bitcoin is mining. So every time you buy or sell a Bitcoin, the Bitcoin miners burn down a square meter worth of rainforest in energy to solve intentionally over-complex logic puzzles that are required for this transaction. And the more miners there are, the more complex the puzzles get. It's actually a fairly interesting system. The first Bitcoin miner to get the solution correct gets the reward, which is a small amount of Bitcoin for his trouble. The other miners are there and they double check his mass, and if everything works out, I assume they get a little bit too, but obviously less. So with each transaction the whole thing gets more complex, because all the previous transactions will need to be double checked and added to the blockchain. And each person that buys Bitcoin increases the market value of Bitcoin, and therefore the reward that miners get for mining. And the more miners there are, the more complicated the logic puzzles get to scale up the demand for higher value mining. And this is how Bitcoin is an exponential race to the bottom of who can use up more energy to wastefully create Bitcoin. It's terrible. And because the whole thing is built on security and being unable to change, nobody can change the festering garbage spaghetti code that is at the core of this process. So the more value Bitcoin gets, the less value the Earth will have, because it'll be destroyed. Great. So now you know what Bitcoin mining is. If you don't believe me, you can look up videos. They're gonna sugarcoat it, but they're still gonna convey the bones of this information to you, and they'll explain to you how Bitcoin is a terrible idea on the same level as lead pipes or leaded gas. Basically a devastating invisible poison, and the supporters have already gone completely insane on it. They're all too happy to destroy the world in order so they can make a quick profit. And when you talk to them, they think you're envious. No, I'm not envious. I got rich on my own merit. I did something I'm proud of, and that's why I got rich, okay? The idea that I would stoop to a level below you, where I would look up to your pathetic exploitation of everyone's ignorance, is ridiculous. You know, we're actually phasing out gas-powered cars and fossil fuel almost entirely, and here you are actively trying to take us back to a less efficient form of banking. You actually think you can replace banks with Bitcoin? Do you realize how many things banks do for us? They give us financial advice, they look if we qualify for loans and then give us those loans. They have secure ATMs everywhere. They help you get your money back if you accidentally lose your card or it's stolen, or you accidentally send it to the wrong address. If you lose Bitcoin money, it's gone forever. You lose your login, it's gone. You send it to the wrong number, it's gone. Or maybe you just have to wait for the authorities to catch on to your disgusting, wasteful ways, and then it'll just naturally go to zero. I mean, just look what happened when China banned Bitcoin. Yeah, that went down a good 20%. Neat. Just wait. We're on to you. Okay, so I personally like the banking system. Fine, sue me. But you know, you don't have to worry about it. You could just make an account. You don't have to talk to anyone. You just put the money in and then you get it out of the ATM. You don't have to go to the bank. If you're saying, oh, the banks have buildings where they use energy, yeah, any building will use energy, but you don't have to go to the bank building. If you use Bitcoin, you have to use miners, because miners are what do the transaction for you. You are not smart for putting your money into something so obviously environmentally destructive. Just look how much money people are spending on slightly decreasing carbon emissions. You think they'll put up with your shit? You pathetic little crypto fascists. You think you're above the law? You think we can't trace you? You think we can't stop you? Think again. Look how much of a dive Bitcoin took when China just banned it. And that's just China. They outlaw everything. Do you know what's untraceable? Money. There's no microchip in it. There's a number on it. Nobody reads the number. Cash is perfectly untraceable. You know what isn't untraceable? Whatever you buy with it. You want a fast car? Maybe a Tesla? Maybe a nice house? Now we got you. We see your car. We see your house. You're gonna have to pay taxes on that. You're gonna have to disclose your earnings. You think you can escape taxations? You'd have to go legal to do that. You'd have to get a really good accountant. You're not gonna get rich and stay under the radar. God, these people who talk like crypto is going to subvert the state are so delusional. The IRS is the strongest arm of the state. They'll find you, they'll tax you, or worse. If you don't have a job and you shop with a wad of cash or a stacked Bitcoin wallet, there's no difference. They will assume you're a criminal either way, unless you pay taxes. I mean, I'm sure you could be a crypto billionaire if you don't spend any of your money, but then what is it for? What are you gonna do with it? If you spend it, you'll be discovered. Anyways, now you surely see my side of things, and you don't even believe that these crazy crypto advocates actually exist, right? Well, let's check out this lovely Twitter thread that I engaged in last month. Now here's me, I say, Why do you all hate the environment just to make a quick profit? And here's the guy. Oh, shut up with your environmental shit. Demand will drive innovation. Here's what I said. Wow, you troglodyte, you probably don't even realize how bad it is. Bitcoin is using 1% of all energy on Earth, and now literally everyone is getting into it. Can't wait for this exponential growth in CO2 emissions. His response. Oh, why don't you say the same thing about gold mining, fishing, oil, and the gas sector? You're experiencing FOMO, and using the environment as a tool. Adoption will lead to innovation. God, I hate these people. You do know gold is used in making computers. You're not gonna reduce those things by adding extra demand for computers, energy, and internet access. But the actual use we get out of gold and energy is way bigger than the use we get out of Bitcoin. Here's another good response I got. So what? About 33% of all energy created is being used and wasted for nothing. Do you really care about the 1% used by Bitcoin? Laughing my ass off. Oh my god, this guy is insane. And this guy actually has an engineering degree. Oh hey guys, wasting energy is fine because energy is wasted anyways. It's unbelievable how stupid this guy can be. Imagine having an engineering degree and thinking wasting energy is okay, bro. Who cares? And he runs this scammy, shitty crypto website. Don't look. He's telling me I'm uninformed and wasting energy is okay. I was very rude to that idiot, so he refused to have a proper conversation. But here's a YouTube video that explains what he meant.
The media loves to cover Bitcoin's negative impact on the environment due to climate change controversy. More controversy means more clicks, and more clicks equal higher ad revenue.
Oh my god, I'm gonna die. You're already starting your video with this dishonest phrasing. Yep, the media is worthless because they use money. They make money, got it? Unlike me. I don't make money, I don't have any incentive to lie about Bitcoin.
This video will take the opposite viewpoint. Is Bitcoin positive for climate change? The Bitcoin network uses large amounts of energy. Let's visualize some data comparing Bitcoin's energy consumption. According to the Cambridge Center of Alternative Finance, Bitcoin uses around 0.55% of the total world electricity production. The entire world's renewable energy production could power the Bitcoin network over 56 times.
Oh my god, so you admit that it uses that much power. Good that we're not denying that one, that saves us time. But the way you're saying it, oh my god, we could use Bitcoin with using only renewable energy. It would only take up 1/50th of all renewable energy. Oh, brilliant concept. We could blow a large part of our renewable energy just on Bitcoin. Then we'll just have to use more oil to make up the energy that's taken away from other consumers this way. Brilliant.
Systems of our society run on incentives. People need reasons and rewards to expend their scarce time and energy. Block rewards and transaction fees, in the form of issued Bitcoin, incentivize Bitcoin miners to expend energy. In return, Bitcoin mining creates a consensus mechanism that ensures trust and security within the system. Currently, Bitcoin mining is the fairest way to distribute a monetary unit. Equitable distribution is vital to the fundamentals of a global, freely available, politically independent financial system. If you have an internet connection, the correct hardware, and a source of energy, you are free to collect a monetary unit without worrying about any other party's unfair privileges.
Oh my god, this is so dumb, I'm going to die. What are you ever even talking about? How is it going to fairly distribute money? What nonsense. If you need energy and hardware and an internet to create Bitcoin, it's either not worth it, or the rich will hoard all the energy and hardware to maintain their wealth and create Bitcoin with it. How can you possibly be so stupid as to think that this will be an equitable distribution? It'll empower the poor? No, it won't. This is stupid. In fact, if you don't have these three things, internet, power, and hardware, then I guess you would just be super poor because you don't even get this new currency of your new utopia, huh? Wow. Yeah, you know, those people who are actually poor, they wouldn't have those things. So it would just make people more poor. Great job. Yeah, I'm glad we're not spending money on bank fees. Instead we're just wasting shitloads of energy on it instead. Brilliant.
Say you are a Bitcoin miner. What type of energy would you want to use? Cheap energy, right? Using expensive energy to mine Bitcoin will cut into your profit margins and reduce incentives. Here's a graph of the cost of solar energy since its invention. The cost of a solar module has declined 99.6% since 1976. Decades of compounding 10 to 20% cost reductions present a world where renewables are cheaper to build than operating existing coal or natural gas plants. Will this incentivize more Bitcoin miners to use more affordable renewable energy sources in the future? Grid congestion is a problem for the energy sector. An energy grid has limited space. Renewable energies have to compete with other energies for that space. Energy more than 500 miles away from a grid is stranded with no purpose. Providing no benefit to society is now a benefit for mining Bitcoin.
Now, as you're probably noticing, this video is incredibly dishonest, and this probably takes tax incentives into account when showing these numbers. It's good that solar is getting cheaper, but wasting government tax incentives on Bitcoin farming would be incredibly bad, so please don't.
Renewable energies no longer need to compete. They can provide value through an internet connection. Bitcoin mining can accelerate innovation in a world of renewables, leading to near-zero cost and reduced emissions across the globe. That being said, renewables will advance with or without Bitcoin. Having a vehicle to push innovation forward expedites the process.
Okay, first of all, you were saying how equitable the distribution of Bitcoin will be because people can mine it from their apartment, but now you're saying it'll be efficient, I swear, once people start building plants out in the desert and mine Bitcoin there. Can you believe how dumb that is? We're gonna bring all these valuable resources and make solar panels in the desert as well as a mining center with an internet connection. Such a waste. And then when you do that, I guess now Bitcoin miners in their apartment, they aren't gonna make any money, so all that equitable distribution isn't gonna work out, is it? Oh, all the solar tycoons in the desert, they're gonna make all the money on Bitcoin now, haha. And it's crazy how this guy is talking about using energy is actually good. If we increase the demand for energy, renewable energy will rise. We already use too much energy. This is so counterintuitive. I can't think of a single worse use for energy than Bitcoin mining. Especially now that all cars are going to be electric, you know how much energy that's going to use? And they can use that at any time to refuel and it'll work. So there you go, Bitcoin obsolete.
The main challenge that renewables, specifically solar, face is availability. Here is a chart showing electricity demand. When electricity demand is highest, the supply of solar energy is at its lowest. The National Renewable Energy Laboratory famously described this mismatch as the duck curve, based on its duck-like appearance. As more solar gets added to the grid every year, this supply and demand discrepancy grows. One problem that comes from this supply and demand mismatch is overgeneration. Power plants, such as nuclear or coal, are only profitable if they produce energy all the time. This creates an energy floor. If solar generates too much energy during the day and there's no use for it, grid managers will have to turn that energy off. If they didn't, there would be a risk of overloading the power grid. As more solar and wind power flood the grid, we'll see the belly of our duck grow unless we can find some reliable, productive use of this excess energy, which is what Bitcoin miners are poised to become.
There's so much wrong with this once again. Bitcoin miners aren't going to turn off their mining during peak hours. Why would they? They already pay for the hardware and the internet. Why would they stop mining just because other people might need that power? It would be a waste for them to not use the internet, the hardware and the real estate in the time just because the energy is slightly more expensive. Furthermore, mining is based on the most transactions happening, so American peak times will be where you can mine most efficiently, because then you can snatch up all the new transactions that are happening in America. So I guess maybe this could work in other parts of the world. They could mine during American peak times where it's not peak time for their energy grid, but I doubt they'll be using much renewable energy there.
To become. Acting as real-time virtual batteries, miners can be turned on or off at a moment's notice to provide both conventional demand response as well as supply response. On the demand response side, the grid can pay Bitcoin miners to shut down whenever demand spikes, thus smoothing out the duck's head. In short, miners provide a price floor for electricity by eating the duck's belly. making it easier for grid operators to plan, which ultimately increases market efficiency. Energy isn't just energy, it's the thing that drives every single industry. The more energy in our society, the more productivity we will experience. Through Bitcoin, we take a scarce asset from the physical world and create a scarce asset in the digital world. This process was not possible until a few years ago, and the opportunities are vast.
That's right, every industry does use energy. Therefore we could use this precious energy for literally anything else. Use Bitcoin as virtual batteries, because wasting energy to print expensive monopoly money is basically the same thing as a battery. Brilliant! This is an idea I heard more and more from these crypto assholes. Mining Bitcoin creates value. I literally can't understand how they can be so stupid. No, it doesn't create value in the world. It's not like some kind of big AI that's going to cure cancer the more energy we put into it. All that Bitcoin mining does is ensure the security for its own transactions. But in the end, it will ensure that Bitcoin will lose all value because of how disgustingly decadent the waste of energy is, and it'll get banned. So anyways, that's the worst dumb idea ever. The idea that mining creates value. Yes, literally the coins created and their value goes up over time. Great! But Bitcoin doesn't create value in the world. The same way that the state printing money doesn't create value in the world. I mean, it creates value for the state itself, but not for other states and not for its people. There's a lot of demand for Bitcoin, and that's why it has value in trade. But it doesn't create inherent value. It's just a currency. If people choose to use this currency, or that currency, doesn't change the amount of value of all things in the world. Except for one vital difference. All the resources wasted by Bitcoin mining. That's definitely gone for good. You could have paid using PayPal. It would have cost almost nothing. We would have avoided all this, except for the fact that PayPal is now also allowing crypto trading, so I guess that's just as bad. Well, I hope you didn't absorb any of the misinformation in this horrendous video into your smooth little brains. You may have noticed I haven't mentioned any of the other cryptocurrencies. That's because Bitcoin is uniquely awful. I don't know if other coins are better optimized, some of them surely are. But the current extreme value of Bitcoin makes it uniquely attractive to Bitcoin miners. The more people decide to mine, the less money the other miners will make, and eventually they'll stop because it won't be profitable. But Bitcoin is so valuable that it'll be profitable for hundreds or thousands of miners, and that's how they achieved the disgustingly horrendous record of using 0.55% of all energy on Earth in the last few months, and that is why shitcoin has to die. At the time of me recording this video, it looked like things are going the right way. Bitcoin is losing a lot of value because Elon Musk has said he won't allow it for Tesla anymore. He knows how bad it is for the environment. And that's right, you shits. I'm here arguing Bitcoin is bad, and you all ganged up on me with your negative IQ values, and then your god, your tech god Elon Musk, agrees with me. Yes, Bitcoin is bad. Who would have known? Where is your meme god now? I fucking hate Elon Musk. He's basically Donald Trump of the tech industry. But he has done a good thing here, at last. It's bad he allowed Bitcoin in the first place, but many people got swept up in it, so it's, I guess, acceptable. But it's really good that he's actively went out of his way to correct his mistake and to tell people about the dangers of Bitcoin. And then China banned all the cryptocurrencies. Good on them. Finally banning something wholesale has been a good choice. Well, here we go. I'm hopeful for the future. I thought Elon Musk was gonna be the end of us all for sure. But seeing him admit one of his many mistakes, he really makes me think that we might have a chance after all. I started this video and I had a huge debate thread on Twitter. And right on that same day, Elon banned Bitcoin. That was amazing. Oh my god. I was against Bitcoin before it was cool, Elon. I was so I was so happy with that. Right, they were arguing with me and then boom, it's over. Bitcoin banned from Tesla. Hell yeah. And this gives this video a nice ending, hopeful for the future. Bitcoin will probably recover and it will continue burning down many rainforest trees worth of energy with its unbridled greed before people will finally learn and put an end to it. But right now it seems like people are coming to their senses. Maybe this is it. Maybe it'll die now and it'll be better for everyone. But probably not, you know. It's probably gonna be big once more. It's gonna be awful. Well, anyways, subscribe for more. I don't even know what the next video is gonna be about. Maybe I'll talk about Isaac again. Maybe I'll talk a proper teaser video for my new game Bullfrog. How exciting. What mystery video will you get to watch next month? Only one way to find out. Subscribe.